What's up, YouTube? Well, we're at part 2 for the 458 SOCOM build, Project Razorback. What I figured I'd talk about today was the upper assembly. Basically, this is a Radical Firearms 16-inch upper. I purchased it from Primary Arms. It was right at, I think, $549. Paid street price for it, just like anybody out there would if they purchased it. So far it looks pretty good. There's a couple things that I'm pretty happy about and a couple things that I think are maybe a little bit suspect. Obviously it's a budget upper. This gun was something that was kind of set up to be a toy, so I didn't go nuts with it. I tried to kind of want to build it at a pretty small budget. You know, I guess what we're really going to have to do is get out there and test it in the field and see how it runs. But for the sake of this video, which I figured would be pretty short, I just figured I'd give you a couple good shots of it. Take a look at the fit and finish. I'd show you some things that look pretty good for it, and show you some things that maybe we need to watch out for. But one thing I found pretty interesting, if you look at the fit and finish of the upper overall, it's actually pretty good. The finish and fit of this rail going into the upper receiver is just beautiful. Like, the joint is right there, and man, you got to be looking to even find that joint. The rail's secured on 4 different spots, 2 bolts per. Looks pretty good. The finish itself on the upper receiver looks good. One thing I kind of noticed that worries me, I'm not sure if I can get a good shot of it here, but if you look at the gas block, you see how the gas block isn't tucked up against the shoulder in the barrel? That concerns me just a little bit, that it could walk around some. I am not going to take this upper apart before I take it to the range, because I want to see how it acts out of the box. But that's something I think might cause us a little trouble. That looks a wee bit suspect. You can see it right there in the center of frame. But it might be nothing. We shall see. But overall, I mean, the brake on it, which this is their Panzer brake that they put, it's clocked correctly. Everything looks like it fits well. But not a bad looking piece. You know, I've paid more and got less. So let me go on, I'll break out the bolt, show you guys the bolt and the bolt carrier. Here's a look at the bolt and the bolt carrier. One thing that worried me a little bit is when you look up at the bolt face, trying to get it where I can get a good focus. But look how thin the wall is on the bolt face going into the locking lugs. I mean, it's like paper thin. I could easily see that getting damaged if you had a misfeed. I've yet to really go look at like the Tromics or the Wilsons to see if they kind of do it differently. But it basically looks like they just machined out a regular AR bolt to fit the 458 case, and it didn't leave a whole bunch of meat there. But again, I'm not making judgment on that. That may be normal. But it's just something that kind of jumped out at me when I saw it. Yeah, it looks like the gas key is what some people would call staked. I can tighten that up a little bit. That's not quite how I would like to see it. But overall, the bolt looks good. It looks decent. It doesn't feel really high-endy or anything, but it doesn't look too awful bad. The upper did fit onto the lower very easily. Not a lot of play, nothing weird going on there. Finish seems to match. We've got an Anderson lower, that's what we started with. They seem to match pretty good. No major issues. So that's really about it, guys, for the upper. I looked at the barrel extension, that looks okay. I can't really get a good picture of what they cam, and I don't really want to waste film for something you guys can't see. But overall it looks okay. I'm not particularly worried about it. We're going to be testing this one in the field, so we'll see how it acts in the real world. Next video we're actually going to be mounting some optics. I think I'm going to run something fairly simple with this. This is going to be a sub 200 kind of gun, so doesn't need anything kind of really fancy. Then I'll probably make a video kind of walking you guys what we put in the lower and what's really in there. Nothing crazy, but some decent stuff. And then we'll be out in the range and we'll be playing with this thing, blowing stuff up. So come back and see us. We've got more to show you. Thanks.